speaking their minds are getting so much resistance from behind. Finally stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. What a field day for the heat. In the street, singing songs and a carrying signs, mostly.
I read in this letter that Don Pedro of Aragon comes this night to Massena.
He's very near by this place. Not 3 legs up when I left him, sir.
How many men have you lost in this action?
But a few of any sort, and none of any major names.
A victory is twice itself, and the achiever brings home full numbers. I find here that Don Pedro hath bestowed much honor on a young man named Claudio.
He's much deserved on his part, Private Claudio, and equally remembered by Commander Don Pedro. He has borne himself beyond the limits of his age, stirring in the figures of a lamb, the feats of a lion, sir.
I pray you, has Senor Montanto returned from wars, or no?
Who? I don't know anyone of that name, lady. I don't think he's even in the U.S. Army.
What is he you ask for, niece?
My cousin means Senor Benedict. I pray you, how many have you killed at even in these wars?
Oh, he's returned, and as pleasant as he ever was since he entered this war.
How many has he killed in these wars? But how many has he killed? For I indeed intend to eat all of his killings.
Faith, niece, you tax Senor Benedict too much. He'll be meet with you. I doubt it not.
He has done good service in these campaigns too, lady.
You have musty victual. He hath hope-eat it. He is a very valiant trencherman. He hath an excellent stomach.
And he's a good soldier too, lady.
And a good soldier to a lady, but what is he to a lord?
From what I've heard, he's a lord to a lord, a man to a man, and then he's stuck to the honorable virtues. Almost sounds like as if it's part of his ego.
It is so indeed. He's no less than a stuffed man. But as for the stuffing, well, we're all mortal.
You must not, sir, mistake my niece. There's a kind of merry war betwixt her and Senor Benedict.
Alas,
They never meet, but there's a skirmish of wit between them.
alas, he gets nothing by that. In our last conflict, 4 or 5 of his wits went halting off. And now, is he a whole man governed with one? Who is his companion now? Every month he hath a new sworn brother.
Lady, is that even possible?
Very easily possible. He wears his faith, but as the fashion of his hat, it changes with the next blow.
Oh, I see. This gentleman is not exactly reading your books at all.
No, and he were I would burn my study. But who is his companion now? Is there no young squarer looking to make his voyage to the devil with him?
All right. He's most recently in the company of the right noble Private Claudio.
Oh God, he will hang upon him like a disease. He is sooner caught in the pestilence, and the taker runs pleasantly mad. God bless the noble Claudio. If he caught the Benedict, it'll take him 1,000 pounds ere be cured.
I'll old friends with you, lady.
Do, good friend.
You will never run mad, niece.
Nope, not till hot January.
Commander Don Pedro's arrived, sir.
Good Senor Leonardo, you have come to meet your trouble. The fashion of the world to avoid costs, and yet you encounter it.
Never came trouble to my house in the likeness of your grace. For trouble being gone, comforts remain. But when you depart, sorrow abides, and happiness takes its leave.
You embrace your charge too willingly. I take this as your daughter.
Her mother hath many times told me so.
Were you in doubt, sir, that you asked?
Senor Benedict, no. For then you were a child.
Habits full, Benedict. You may guess this by what you are. being a man. Truly the lady fathers herself. Be happy, lady, for you are like an honorable father.
If Signor Leonardo be our father, she would not have his head on her shoulders for all Massena, as like him as she is.
I wonder that you will still be talking, Signor Benedict. Nobody marks you.
My dear lady Disdain, are you yet living?
Is it possible Disdain shall die when she has such meat food to feed as Signor Benedict? Courtesy itself must convert to stain if you come in her presence.
And courtesy is a turncoat. But it is certain, I am loved of all ladies. Only you excepted. And I would I could find in my heart that I had not a hard heart, for truly, I love none.
A dear happiness to women. Otherwise, they would be troubled with the pernicious suitor. I thank God for my cold blood. I'm of your humor for that. I'd rather hear a dog bark at a crow than a man swear as he loves
God,
me.
keep your ladyship in that mind, so some gentleman or other shall escape, predestined scratched face.
Scratching cannot make it worse if it were a face such as yours.
Well, you're a rare pair, teacher.
A bird of my tongue is better than a beast of yours.
I would my horse at the speed of your tongue, and so good a continuer. But keep your name. In God's name, I have done.
You always end with a jade's trick. I know you of old.
That is the sum of all, Leonardo. Signor Claudio and Signor Benedict. My dear friend Leonardo hath invited you all. I tell him we shall stay here at the least a month, and yet he prays that some occasion may detain us longer. I dare swear he is no hypocrite, but prays from his heart.
If you swear, my lord, you shall not be forsworn. Let me bid you welcome, my lord, being reconciled with the prince your brother. I owe you a duty.
I thank you. I'm not of many words, but I thank you.
My lord, will you walk?
Your hand, Leonardo. We will go together.
Benedict, didst thou note the daughter of Signor Leonardo?
I noted her not, but I looked on her.
Is she not a modest young lady?
Do you question me, as an honest man should do, for my true, simple judgment? Or would you rather me speak after my custom, as a professed tyrant to her sex?
No, I pray thee, speak in sober judgment.
Why, in faith, methinks she is too low for a high praise, too brown for a fair praise, and too little for a great praise. Only this accommodation I can afford her, that were she other than she is, she were unhandsome. And being no other but as she is, I do not like her.
Thou thinkest I am in sport. I pray thee, tell me how thou truly likest her.
Do you buy her that you inquire after her?
Can the world buy such a jewel?
Yeah, and a case to put it into. Yet, speak you this with a sad brow. Or would you play the flouting jack? Come, in what key shall man take you to go into song?
In mine eye, she is the sweetest lady ever I looked upon.
I can see yet without spectacles, and I see no such matter. There's her cousin. And were she not possessed with a theory, exceeds her as much in beauty as the 1st of May doth the last of December. Yet, I hope you have no intention to turn husband on me. Do you?
I would scarce trust myself, though I had sworn the contrary, if Hero would be my wife.
Ugh, it's come to this. Will I never see a bachelor of threescore again? Go to in faith, and thou wilt need thrust thy neck into a yoke. Wear the prince of it, sigh away Sundays.
What secret thou tellest me here that you fall not to Leonardo's?
I would your grace constrain me to tell.
I charge thee on thy allegiance.
Ah, you hear, Claudio? I can be as secret as a dumb man. I would have you think that, yet on my allegiance. Mark you this. On my allegiance. He is in love! With who? Now that is your grace's part. Mark how short his answer is. With Hero, Leonardo's short daughter.
If this were so, so it were uttered.
Like the old tale, my lord, it is not so, nor 'twas not so, but God forbid it should be so.
If my passion change not shortly, God forbid it should be otherwise.
Amen, if you love her, for the lady is very well worthy.
You speak this to fetch me in, my lord.
By my troth, I speak my thought.
And in faith, my lord, I speak mine.
And in my two troths and faith I spoke in mine.
That I love her, I feel.
That she is worthy, I know.
That I neither see how she should be loved, nor how she is worthy. It is the opinion that fire cannot melt out of me. I will die with it at the stake.
Thou wast ever an obstinate heretic, in the despite of beauty.
And could never maintain his part, but in the force of his will.
That a woman conceived me, I thank her. That she brought me up, I likewise give her most humble thanks. But that I will have a reed sheet winded in my forehead, or hang my bugle on an invisible baldric, all women shall pardon me. I will not do her the wrong to mistrust any. I do myself the right to trust none. And the fine is that the fine may go the finer. I will live a bachelor.
I shall see thee. Ere I die, look pale with love.
With anger, with sickness, with hunger, my lord, not with love. Prove I ever lose more blood with love than I would get again with drinking. Pluck out mine eyes with a ballad maker's pen, and hang me on the door of a brothel house with a sign of blind Cupid.
Well, as time shall try, in time the savage bull doth bear the yoke.
The savage bull may, but if ever the sensible Benedict bear it. Pluck off the bull's horns and set them in my forehead, and let me be vilely painted in such great letters as, here is good horse to hire. Let them signify under my sign, here you may see Benedict, the merry man.
If this should happen, thou wouldst be horn mad.
Nay, if Cupid have not spent all his quiver in Venice, thou wilt quake for this short leave.
I look for an earthquake too then.
Well, you temporize with the hours. In the meantime, good Senior Benedict, repair to Leonato's, commend me to him, and tell him I will not fail him at supper. For indeed, he hath made great preparation.
I almost have enough of me for such an embassage. And so, I commit to you,
To the tuition of God,
From my house if I had it,
the 6th of July.
your loving friend,
Benedict!
nay, mock not. The body of your discourse is but sometime guarded with fragments, and the guards but slightly basted on neither. Ere you flout old ants, examine your conscience. So, I leave you.
My liege, your highness may now do me good.
my love is thine to teach. Teach it but how, and thou shalt see how apt it is to learn. Any hard lesson that may do thee good.
Hath Leonato any son, my lord?
No child but hero. She's his only heir. Dost thou affect her, Claudio?
Oh, my lord. When you went onward in this ended action, I looked upon her with a soldier's eye that liked, but had a rougher task in hand than to drive liking to the name of love. But now I am returned, and war thoughts have left their places vacant, and in their rooms come thronging soft and delicate desires, all prompting me how fair young hero is, saying, I liked her ere I went to wars.
Thou wilt be like a lover presently, and tire the hero of the book of words. If thou hast love for hero, cherish it, and I will break with her and with her father, and thou shalt have her. Was it not to this end that thou begins to twist so fine a story?
How sweetly you do minister to love that no loves grief by his complexion. But lest my liking may too sudden seem, I would have solved it with a longer treatise.
What need the bridge much brighter than the flood? I know. We shall have reveling tonight. I will assume thy part in some disguise, and tell fair hero, I am Claudio, and in her bosom unclasp my heart, and take her hidden prisoner with the force and strong counter of amorous tale. In practice, she shall be thine.
Then come, we shall go.
Brother, I have strange news that you yet dreamt not of.
Are they good?
As the event steps them, but they have good cover. They show well outward. The prince and Count Claudio were thus much overheard. The prince discovered to Claudio that he loved my niece, your daughter, and meant to acknowledge it this night in a dance. And if he found her courted, he would take the present time by the top and break with you of it.
We will hold it as a dream until it appear itself. But I will acquaint my daughter withal, so that she may be better prepared for an answer. If peradventure this be true, go you and tell her of it.
I've just seen her face, I can't forget the time or place where we just met. She's just the girl for me, and I want all the world to see we met today. Molly.
What the good year, my lord? Why are you thus out of measure sad?
There is no measure in the occasion that breeds, therefore the sadness is without limit.
You should hear reason.
And when I have heard it, what blessing brings it?
If not a patient sufferance, maybe a pleasant remedy.
I wonder that thou, being as thou sayest thou art, born under Saturn, goest about to apply a moral medicine to a mortifying mischief. I can't hide what I am. I must be sad when I have cause and smile at no man's jests. Eat when I have stomach and wait for no man's leisure. Sleep when I am drowsy and tend on no man's business. And laugh when I am merry and claw no man in his humor.
Yeah, but you must not make the full show of this till you may do without controlment. You have of late stood out against your brother, who hath taken you newly into his grace, where it is impossible you should take true root, but by the fair weather you make yourself.
But I'd rather be a canker in a hedge than a rose in his grace. And it better fits my blood to be disdained of all than to fashion a carriage to rob love from any. In this, though I can't be said to be a flattering, honest man, it must not be denied. But I'm a plain-dealing villain. I'm trusted with the muzzle and enfranchised with the clog. Therefore, I have decreed not to sing in my cage. If I had my mouth, I would bite. If I had my liberty, well, I would do my liking. In the meantime, let me be that I am, and seek not to alter me.
Do you make no use of your discontent?
I make all use of it, for I use it only. What news, Braccio?
I came yonder from a great supper. The prince, your brother, is royally entertained by Leonardo, and I can give you intelligence of an intended marriage.
Will this serve for any model to build mischief on? What is he for a fool who betroths himself to quietness?
Mary, it is your brother's right hand.
Who? The most exquisite Claudio?
Even he.
A proper squire. And who, which way looks he?
Mary on Hero, the daughter and heir of Leonardo.
Very forward march chick. How came you to this?
Being entertained for a perfumer, I was smoking the musty room. Comes me, the prince, and Claudio, hand in hand in sad conference. I whipped me behind the arras, and there heard it agreed upon that the prince should woo Hero for himself, and having obtained her, give her to Count Claudio.
Come, let us thither. This may prove food to my displeasure. That young startup hath all the glory of my overthrow. If I could cross him any way, I bless myself every way. You're both sure and will assist me?
To the death, my lord.
Then come, let us to the great supper. Their cheer is the greater that I am subdued. With the cooker of my mind. Shall we go prove what's to be done?
We'll wait upon your lordship.
Was not Count John here at supper?
I saw him not. How tartly that gentleman looks. I can never see him, but I'm heartburned an hour after.
He is of a very melancholy
You
disposition.
were an excellent man made in the midway between him and Signor Benedict. One is too much like an image and says nothing, and the other is too much like my lady's eldest son, ever more talent.
Well then, have Signor Benedict's tongue in Count John's mouth, And Count John's melancholy in Signor Benedict's face.
With a good leg and a good foot, uncle, and enough money in his purse, such a man could win any woman, if he had her in good will.
In faith, she's too cursed.
Too cursed is more than cursed. I shall lessen God's sending that way. For it is said that God sends a cursed cow short horns, and a cow too cursed, he sends none.
So by being too cursed, God will send you no horns?
Just if he sends me no husband, for which blessing I am at my knees every morning and every evening. God, I cannot endure a husband with a beard on his face. I'd rather lie in woolen.
So you may light on a husband if he hath no beard?
What should I do with him? Dress him in my apparel and make him my lady's gentlewoman? No, uncle. If he hath no beard on his face, he is less than a man, and that he that hath a beard on his face is more than a youth. And he that is more than a youth is not for me. And he that is less than a man, I'm not for him.
Well, niece, I trust you'll be ruled by your father.
Yes, it is my cousin's duty to make curtsy and say, Father, as it pleases you. But cousin, let him be a handsome fellow, or else make curtsy again and say, Father, as it pleases me.
Niece, I'd like to see you one day fitted with a husband.
Not till God make men out of some other metal than earth. I do not want to be taught to the fierce and valiant dust. For Adam's sons are brethren, and I hold it truly a sin to be matched to my kindred.
Daughter, remember what I told you. If the prince do solicit you in that kind, you know your answer.
Yes, cousin. But there's music in the answer. And if the prince find himself too important, tell him there's measure, and dance out the answer.
Cousin, you apprehend passing shrewdly.
I have a good eye, uncle. I can see a church by daylight.
The revelers are entering. Brother, make good room.
Lady, will you walk about with your friend?
So you walk softly and look sweetly and say nothing, and yours for the walk, and especially when I walk away.
With me in your company.
I may say so, when I please.
And when please you to say so.
When I like your favor, for God defend the leech if you like the case.
My visor's filling his roof. Is in the house. His stove.
Why then, your visors be dashed.
Speak low. You speak love.
So would not I, for your own sake, for I have many ill qualities.
Which is one?
I say my prayers aloud.
I love you the better. The hearers may cry amen.
God match me with a good dancer,
Amen.
and God keep him out of my sight when the dance is done. Answer, clerk.
No more words. The clerk's answer. Will you not tell me who told you so?
No.
Nor
Pardon me.
Will you not tell me who you are?
Not yet.
That I was disdainful, and that I had my good wit out of 100 merry tales. Well, this was Signor Benedict that said so.
Who's he?
I'm sure you know him well enough.
Not I, believe me.
Did he never make you laugh?
I pray you, what is he?
Why, he's the prince's jester. A very dull fool. His only gift is in devising impossible slanders, and none but the libertines delight in him. His condemnation is not in his wit, but in his villainy. For he both pleases men and anger them, and then they laugh at him and beat him. I'm sure he's among the fleet. I would he would boarded me.
And I know the gentleman. I'll tell him what you say.
Do. Which peradventure, not marked or not laughed at, will strike him into a melancholy, and there will be a partridge wing saved. Because the fool will eat no supper that night.
Sure, my brother is amorous on Hero and has withdrawn her father to break with him about it. That one's Claudio. I know him by his bearing. Are not you Signor Benedict?
You know me well. I am he.
Signor, you are very near my brother in his love. He is enamored on Hero. I pray you, dissuade him from her. She's no equal for his birth. You may do the part of an honest man in it.
How know you he loves her?
I heard him swear his affection.
So did I too, and he swore he would marry her tonight.
Come, let us to the banquet.
Thus answer I in the name of Benedict, but hear these ill news with the ears of Claudio. 'Tis certain so, the prince woos for himself. Friendship is constant, save in all other things but the office and affairs of love. Therefore, all hearts in love use their own tongues. Let every eye negotiate for itself, and trust no agent. For beauty is a witch against whose charms faith melteth into blood. This is an accident of hourly proof, which I mistrusted not. Farewell, therefore, Hero.
Count Claudio?
Yea, the same.
Come, will you go with me?
Whither?
Even to the next willow about your own business, County. What fashion will you wear the garland of? You must wear it somehow for the prince and the your hero!
I wish him joy of her.
Why, that's spoken like an honest droiber, who they sell bullocks. But did you think the prince would have served you thus?
I pray you, leave me.
Ooh, now you strike like the blind man! 'Twas the boy that stole your meat, and you beat the post!
If it will not be, I'll leave you.
Alas, o'er hurts foul, and now he will creep into the sedges. But that my lady Beatrice should know me and not know me, the prince's jester, ha! It may be I go under that title because I am married, yea, and I am so apt to do myself wrong. Not so reputed. It is the base, though bitter, disposition of Beatrice that puts the rod into her person and so gives me out. Well, I'll be revenged as I may.
The Lady Beatrice hath a quarrel to you. He tells him that he's much wronged by you.
He misused me. Past the endurance of a plot. An oak but with one green leaf could have answered her. My very advisor began to assume life and scold with her. She told me, not thinking that I was myself, that I was the prince's jester, that I was duller than the great thaw, huddling jest upon jest, with such impossible conveyance that I was a man at a mark, the whole army shooting at me. She speaks these pongers, every word stabs. Ugh, and if her breath were as terrible as her terminations, there would be no living near her. She'd infect the North Star. I would not marry her though she were endowed with all that Adam had left before he transgressed. He would have made Hercules have turned spade. Yeah, and cleft his club to make fire too. Come, talk not of her. I would to God that some scholar would conjure it. For surely a man may live as quiet in hell as in sanctuary, and would sit upon purpose or would go thither. And so all disquiet, horror, and perturbation follows her.
Look, here she comes.
Ugh. Will your grace command me upon any service to the world's end? I will go on the slightest in the air now to the antipodes that you can devise to send me on. Fetch you a toothpicker from the furthest inch of Asia, bring you the length of Prester John's foot, Fetch you a hair off the great Cham's beard. Do any embassage to the pygmies, rather than hold 3 words of conference with this harpy. You have no employment for me?
None, but to desire your good company.
Here's a dish I cannot stomach, my lord. I cannot endure my lady tongue.
Come, lady, come. You have lost the heart of Signor Benedict.
Is so indeed. Lent it to him a while, a double heart for a single one. He won it once of me with false dice. Therefore, you can say I lost it.
You have put him down, lady. You have put him down.
And he should do me, lest I prove the mother of fools. I brought Count Claudio, who you sent me to see.
Why, how now, Count? Wherefore are you sad?
Not sad, my lord.
How then? Sick?
Neither, my lord.
The Count is neither sad, nor sick, nor merry, nor well, but civil, Count. Civil as an orange and something of that jealous complexion.
In faith, lady, I think your blazing to be true. Though all be sworn, if it be so, his conceit is false. Here, Claudio, I wooed in thy name, and fair hero is one. I broke with her father and goodwill obtained. Name the day of marriage, and God give thee joy.
Here, Count, take me and my daughter, and with her my fortunes. His grace hath made the match, and his grace say amen to it.
Speak, Count. 'Tis your cue.
Silence is the perfectest herald of joy. I were but little happy if I could say how much. Lady, as you are mine, I am yours. I give myself away for you and dote upon this exchange.
Speak, cousin. Or if you cannot, give him a kiss so he cannot speak neither.
In faith, lady, you have a merry heart.
Keeps on the windy side of care. A cousin whispers in his ear that he is in her heart.
And so she doth. Cousin.
Good Lord for alliance! Thus goes everyone to the world but me, for I am sunburnt. I will just sit in my corner and cry hi-ho for a husband.
Lady Beatrice, I will get you one.
I'd rather have one of your father's getting. No brother like you. Your father gets excellent husbands if a woman can come by him.
Will you have me, lady?
No. Your grace is too costly to wear every day, but I beseech you, pardon me. I was meant to speak all mirth and no matter.
Your silence most offends me, and to be merry best becomes you. For out of question, you were born at a merry hour.
No, sure. My mother cried, and under that a star dance, and under that I was born, but, cousins, God give you joy.
Niece, will you tend to those things I asked you of?
Yes, I beg your grace's pardon.
By my troth, a pleasant-spirited lady.
There is little of the melancholy element in her. She is not ever sad, but when she sleeps, and not ever sad then, my daughter hath often talked about how she had dreamt of unhappiness, but then awaked herself with laughing.
She cannot endure to hear tell of a husband.
Oh, by no means, my lord. She mocks all her wooers out of suit.
She be a good wife for Benedict.
My lord, if they were but a week married, they would talk themselves mad.
County Claudio, when mean you to go to church?
Tomorrow, my lord. Time goes on crutches till love have all his rights.
Not till Monday, my dear son, and is just hence the 7th night, and time too little to of all things answer my mind.
Come, you shake the head at so long a breathing. But I warrant thee, Claudio, Time shall not go dully by us. I will in the interim undertake one of Hercules' labors, which is to bring Senior Benedict and Lady Beatrice into a mountain of affection, the one with the other. I would fain have it a match, but I doubt not but to fashion it. If you three what minister such assistance, as I shall give you direction.
I am with you, my lord, although it will cost me 10 nights' watchings.
And I, my lord.
And you too, gentle hero.
I will do any modest office, my lord, to help my cousin to a good husband.
And Benedict is not the unhopeless husband that I know. Thus far can I praise him. He's of no strain, approved valor, and confirmed honesty. I will teach you how to humor your cousin, that she shall fall in love with Benedict. And I, with your two helps, will so practice on Benedict that, in spite of his quick wit and his queasy stomach, he shall fall in love with Beatrice. If we can do this, Cupid is no longer an archer. His glory shall be ours, for we are the only love gods. Go in with me, and I will tell you my drift.
It is so. The Count Claudio shall marry the daughter of Leonato.
Yea, my lord, but I can cross it.
Any bar, any cross, any impediment shall be medicinable to me. I'm sick in displeasure to him, and whatsoever comes athwart, his affection ranges evenly with mine. How canst thou cross this marriage?
Not honestly, my lord, but so covertly that no dishonesty shall show within me.
Show me briefly how.
I think I've told your lordship a year since how much I'm in the favor of Margaret, the waiting gentlewoman to Hero.
I remember.
I can, at any unseasonable instant of the night, appoint her to look out her lady's chamber window.
And what life is in that to be the death of this marriage?
The poison of that lies in you to temper. Go you to your brother, spare not to tell him that he hath wronged his honor in marrying the renowned Claudio, whose estimation do you mightily hold up to a contaminated stale such a one as Hero.
And what proof shall I make of that?
Proof enough to misuse the prince, to vex Claudio, to undo Hero, and to kill Leonato. Look you for any other issue?
Only to despite them, I will endeavor anything.
Go then. Find me a meet hour to draw Don Pedro and Count Claudio alone. Tell them that you know that Hero loves me. Intend a kind of zeal both to the prince and your brother, as in love of your brother's honor, who hath made this match, and his friend's reputation, which will be so cozened by the semblance of a maid that you have discovered thus. They will hardly believe this without trial. Offer them instances which shall bear no less likelihood than to see me at Margaret's chamber window, and hear me call Margaret Hero, and do this the very night before the intended wedding. For in the meantime I will so fashion that Hero be absent, and there will be such seeming truth to her disloyalty, that jealousy shall be called assurance, and all preparations overthrown.
Row this to what adverse issue it can, and I'll put it into practice, I guess. Be cunning in the working of this, and thy fee is 1,000 ducats.
Be you constant in the accusation, and my cunning shall not shame me.
I will presently go learn their day of marriage.
I do much wonder how a man, seeing how another man is a fool when he dedicates his behaviors to love, will, after he hath laughed at such shallow follies, become the very argument of his own scorn by falling in love. And such a man is Claudio. I remember when there was no music in him but the drum and the fife. Now, he'd rather listen to the tabor of the pipe. I remember when he would walk 10 miles afoot to see good armor. Now, just lay awake at night, carving the fashion of a new doublet. He was wont to speak plain English to the purpose, like an honest man and a soldier. Now, he's turned orthography. His words are a very fantastical banquet. So many strange dishes. May I be so converted to see with these eyes? I cannot tell. I can't. I must not be sworn. But Love may transform me to an oyster. I'll take my oath on it, though. Till he hath made me an oyster, he shall never make me such a fool. One lady is fair, yet I am well. Another is virtuous, yet I am well. Another is wise, yet I am well. Till all graces be in one woman shall not come in my grace. Rich she shall be, now that is certain. Wise, or I'll none. Virtuous, or I'll never cheapen her. Fair, or I'll never look on her. Mild, or come not near me. Noble, not I for an angel. Of good discourse, an excellent musician, and her hair shall be of whatever color it pleases God. Here come the prince and Monsieur Love. I will hide myself in the arbor.
Come, shall we hear this music?
Yea, my lord. How still the evening is as hushed on purpose as to grace harmony.
See where Benedict hath hid himself?
Very well, my lord.
Come, Balthazar. We'll hear that song again.
Oh, good my lord, perhaps not so bad a voice to slander music any more than once.
I pray thee sing, and let me woo no more.
Because you talk of wooing, I will sing. Since many a wooer doth commence his suit to her he thinks not worthy, yet he woos, yet he swear he loves.
Now pray thee come, or if thou wilt hold longer argument, do it in notes.
Note this before my notes. Just not a note of mine worth the noting.
Why, these are very crotchets that he speaks. Notes, notes, forsooth and nothing.
Sigh no more ladies, sigh no more ladies, men will ever deceive us. One foot at sea and one on shore, to one thing constant ever. They sigh not so, but let them go, and be you blithe and bonny, converting all your sounds of woe. It's a hey nonny nonny. Hey, nanny, nanny, hey, nanny, nanny, hey, nanny, 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 hey, nanny, nanny, hey, nanny, nanny, hey, nanny, nanny, nanny. Sing no more ditties, sing no more of dumps so dull and heavy. The fraud of man was ever so, since summer first was leafy. Sign our soul, but let them go, and be you blithe and bonny, converting all your sounds of woe into hey nanny nanny, hey nanny nanny, hey nanny nanny, hey nanny nanny nanny, hey nanny nanny, hey nanny nanny, hey nanny nanny nanny. Hey nanny nanny, hey nanny nanny, hey nanny nanny nanny. Hey nanny nanny, hey nanny nanny, hey nanny nanny nanny.
And my troth, a good song.
And an ill singer, my lord.
Ha, no faith. Thou singest well enough for a shift.
Had he been a dog that had howled thus, he would have been hanged.
Well, get us some excellent music for tomorrow night. We shall have it at the Lady Hero's chamber window.
The best I can, my lord.
Do so. Farewell. Come hither, Leonardo. What was it you told me of today? That the Lady Beatrice is in love with Signor Benedict.
I stalk on the foul sits. I did never think that lady would love any man.
No, nor I neither. But most wonderful that she should so dote on Signor Benedict, whom she hath in all outward behaviors ever seemed to abhor.
It's true. Sits the wind in that corner.
By my troth, I cannot tell what to think of it, but that she loves him with an enraged affection. It is past the infinite of thought.
Maybe she doth love counterfeit.
Oh God, counterfeit! There never was such counterfeit of passion as the light of passion as she discovers it.
Why? What effects of passion shows she?
What effects, my lord? She will sit. She will sit. You heard my daughter tell you how.
She did indeed.
How? How, pray you? You amaze me. I would have thought that her spirit had been invincible against all assaults of affection.
I would have sworn it, my lord, especially against Benedict.
I should think this a gull, but the white-bearded fellow speaks of it. Naverly cannot sure hide itself in such reverence.
He had taken the infection, pulled it up.
Has she made her affection known to Benedict?
No, and she swears she never will. That's her torment.
'Tis true. So your daughter says. Shall I, says she, that I've so often conquered him with scorn. Write to him that I love him.
This says she so, that she will often be up 20 times a night, and there she will sit in her smock until she have raked a sheet of paper. My daughter tells us all.
Now you speak of a sheet of paper. I remember a pretty jest your daughter told us of.
Oh, when she read it and was reading it over, she found Benedict and Beatrice between the sheets.
That.
Oh, she tore the letter into 1,000 halfpence, railed at herself that she could be so immodest to write to someone who she knew would flout her. I measure him, says she, so oft writ to someone who I knew should flout me, although I love him I should.
Then, down upon her knees, she falls, weeps, sobs, beats her heart, tears her hair. Curses! Oh, sweet Benedict! God give me patience! Oh.
No!
She doth indeed. My daughter says so, that she is often concerned that the ecstasy hath much overborne her, that she will do desperate outrage to herself. It's very true.
It were good that Benedict knew of it by some other, if she will not discover it.
To what end, my lord? He will make but a sport of it and torment the poor lady worse.
And he should. It were an alms to hang him. She's an excellent sweet lady, and of all suspicion, she is virtuous.
And she is exceeding wise.
In everything, but in loving Benedict.
Hey!
Oh, my lord, wisdom and blood combating in so tender a body. We have 10 proofs to 1 that the blood hath the victory. I feel sorry for her, as I have just cause, being her uncle and her guardian.
I would she had bestowed this dotage on me. I would have daffed all the respects and made her half myself. I pray thee, tell Benedict of it, and hear what he'll say.
Word good, think you?
Hero thinks, surely she will die, for she says she will die ere she make her love known, and she says she will die if he ye love her not. And she says, if he even tried to woo her, rather than she will bait one breath of her accustomed crossness.
She doth well. If she should make tender her love, 'tis very possible to scorn it. For the man, as you know all, hath a contemptible spirit.
He is a very proper man.
He hath indeed a good outward happiness.
By God, and in my mind, very wise.
He hath indeed shown some sports that are like wit,
And I do take him to be valiant.
as Hector I assure you.
If he do fear God, he must necessarily keep the peace. If he break the peace, he ought to enter into a quarrel with fear and trembling.
And so will he do. The man doth fear God. However, it seems I am by some large jest he will make. Well, I am sorry for your niece. Shall we go seek Benedict and tell him of her love?
Never tell him, my lord. Let her wear it out with good counsel.
Nay, she may wear her heart out first.
Well, we will hear further it by your daughter. Let it cool the while. I love Benedict well, and I wish he'd mindedly examine himself to see how unworthy he is so good a lady.
My lord, will you walk? Dinner is ready.
If he do not dote on her upon this, oh, I will never trust my expectation.
Let there be the same method for her, your daughter, and her gentleman carry. Hum! Let us send her in to call him into dinner!
This can be no trick. Conference was sadly born. They have the truth of this from Hero, and they seem to pity the lady. Seems her affections have their full bent. Love me. Love me. Why, then, it must be requited. I hear how I am censured, and how I will bear myself proudly if I perceive the love come from her. They say, too, that she would rather die than show any sign of affection. I did never think to marry. I must not seem happy. Happy are they that hear their detractions and put them to mending. They say the lady is fair. 'Tis the truth. I can bear them witness. And virtuous. 'Tis so. I cannot reprove it. And wise, but in loving me. It is no addition to her wit, nor no great argument to her folly, for I will be horribly in love with her. I may have some odd quirks and remnant of wit broken on me, because I have railed so long against marriage, but doth not the appetite alter? A man loves the meat in his youth, that he cannot endure in his age. Shall these quips, sentences, and these paper bullets of the brain awe a man from the career of his humor? No. The world must be peopled. When I said that I would die a bachelor, I never thought I would have lived till I were married. Here comes Beatrice. By my day, she's a fair lady. And I do spy some marks of love in her. 1,000! 1,001! Down 2! New record!
Against my will, I am sent to bid you come to dinner.
Fair Beatrice, I thank you for your pains.
It took no more pains for those thanks than it took for you to thank me. If it had been painful,
I would not have come.
You take pleasure in the message, then.
Yeah. Just as much as a knife point, and choke with a dull withal. You have no appetite, senor? Here you go.
Against my will, I am sent to bid you come into dinner. There's a double meaning in that. It took no more pains for thanks than it took you pains to thank me. That's as much to say, any pains that I take are as good as thanks. If I do not take pity on her, I am a villain. I will go get her picture.
Good Margaret, get thee to the parlor. There shalt thou find my cousin Beatrice. Whisper her ear and tell her. I and Ursula walk in the orchard, and our whole discourse is all of her. Bid her steal into the bleached bower. There she will wait to listen our purpose. This is thy office. Bear thee well in it, and leave us alone.
I'll make her come. I warn you presently.
Now, Ursula, when Beatrice doth come, our talk must only be of Benedict. When I do name him, let it be thy part to praise him more than ever man did merit. My talk must be of how Benedict is sick in love with Beatrice. Of this matter is crafty little Cupid's arrow made that only wounds by hearsay.
The pleasantest angling is to see the fish caught with her golden oars the silver stream and greedily devour the treacherous bait. So angle we for Beatrice, who even now is couched in the woodbine coverture. Fear you not my part of the dialogue.
Then going near her, that her ear lose nothing of the false sweet bait that we lay for. No, truly, Ursula, she is too disdainful. I know her spirits are as coy and wild as the haggards of the rock.
But are you sure that Benedict loves Beatrice so entirely?
So says the prince and my betrothed lord.
And did they bid you tell her of it, madam?
They did bid me entreat her of it. But I persuaded them, if they loved Benedict, to wish him wrestle with affection, and never let Beatrice know of it.
Why did you so? Doth not the gentleman deserve as full, as fortunate a bed as Beatrice shall couch upon?
Oh, God of love, I know he doth deserve as much as may be yielded to a man. But nature never framed a woman's heart a prouder stuff than that of Beatrice. Disdain and scorn right sparkling in her eyes, misprizing what they look on. And her wit values itself so highly that to her all matter else seem weak. She cannot love, nor take no shape nor product of affection. She is so self-endeared.
Oh, sure, I think so. And therefore certainly were not good she knew his love, lest she make sport at it.
Why, you speak truth. I never yet saw a man how wise, how noble, how young, how barely featured! But she would spell him backwards. If fair-faced, she would swear the gentleman could be her sister. If tall, a lance ill-headed, if low, an agate very vilely cut. If speaking, why, a vein blown with all winds. If silent, why, a block moved with none. So turns she, every man the wrong side out, and never gives the truth and virtue that which simpleness and merit purchaseth.
Sure, such carping is not commendable.
No, not to be so odd and from all fashioned as Beatrice is, cannot be commendable. But who dare tell her so? If I should speak, she would laugh me into air. Oh, she would mock me into myself, press me to death with wit. Therefore, let Benedict, like covered fire, consume away its sighs, wasting her life. 'Twere a better death than die with mocks.
Yet tell her of it, hear what she will say.
No, rather, I will go to Benedict and counsel him to fight against his passion. And truly, I'll devise some honest slanders to stain my cousin with. One doth not know how much an ill word may employs in liking.
Do not do your cousin such a wrong. She cannot be so much without true judgment, having so swift and excellent a wit as she is prized to have, as to refuse such a rare gentleman as Signor Benedict.
He is the only man of Massena, always excepting my dear Claudio.
I pray you, madam, be not angry with me, but speaking my fancy, Signor Benedict, for shape, for bearing, argument, and valor goes foremost in report through Massena.
Indeed, he hath an excellent good name.
His excellence did earn it ere he had it. When you married, madam?
Why, every day tomorrow. Come, get thee in. I'll have thy counsel which to attire me tomorrow!
She's limed, I warrant you. We have caught her, madam.
If it proves so, then loving goes by haps. Some he would kill with arrows, some with traps.
What fire is in my ears? Can this be true? I stand for pride and scorn. So much? Well, contempt farewell, and maiden pride adieu. No glory lives behind the backs of such. And Benedict, love on. I will requite thee, taming my wild heart into thy loving hand. For those say that dost love me, and my kindness shall incite thee, binding our love in a holy band. For others say thou dost deserve, and I believe it better than the voice.
I do, but stay till your marriage be consummate. And then I go toward Aragon.
I'll bring you thither, my lord, if you'll vouchsafe me.
Nay, that be his greatest soil in the new Gloucester marriage, as to bring a child his new coat and forbid him to wear it. I will only bold with Benedict for his company, for from the crown of his head to the sole of his foot, he is all mirth. He hath twice or thrice cut Cupid's bowstring, and the little hangman dare not shoot at him. He hath a heart as sound as a bell, and his tongue is a clapper. What his heart thinks, his tongue speaks.
Gallants, I'm not as I have been.
So say I. Methinks you were sadder.
I hope he be in love.
Hang him truant. There's no drop of blood in him to be truly touched with love. If he be sad, he wants money.
I have the toothache.
Draw it. Hang it!
You must hang it first, then draw it afterwards.
What? Sigh for the toothache?
Well, anyone can master grief, but one that hasn't.
Yet say I, he is in love.
There is no appearance of fancy in him, unless it be a fancy in strange disguises. Unless he hath a fancy for foolery, as it appears he hath, he is no fool for fancy, as you would have it appear he is.
If he be not in love with some woman, there be no believing the old signs. A man brushes his hat in the morning. What should that bode?
Hath any man seen him at the barber?
No, but the barber's man hath been seen with him, and the old ornament of his cheek hath already stuffed tennis balls.
Indeed, he looks much younger than he did.
Nay, he rubs himself with civet. Can you smell him out by that?
That's as much to say.
The sweet youth's in love.
The greatest note of it is melancholy.
And when was he want to wash his face?
Yea, or to paint himself, for the which I hear what they say of him.
Nay, but his jesting spirit, which is now crept into by lute strings and governed by stops.
Indeed, it tells a heavy tale for him. Conclude. Conclude. He is in love.
Nay, but I know who loves him.
That would I know too. I warrant one that knows him not.
Nay, and his ill conditions, and in despite of all,
dies for him. She shall be buried with her face upwards.
This has no charm for the toothache. Good senor, walk aside with me. I have studied 8 or 9 words I wish to share with you. That these hobby horses must not hear.
For my life to tell about Beatrice.
'Tis even so. Hero and Margaret have by this point played their parts with Beatrice, and so 2 bears will not bite each other when again they meet.
My lord and brother, God save you.
Again, brother.
If your leisure served, I would speak with you.
In private?
If it please you, yet the Count Claudio may hear, for what I would speak of concerns him.
What's the matter?
Needs your lordship to be married tomorrow.
You know he does.
I know not that, once he knows what I know.
If there be any impediment, I pray you discover it.
You may think I love you not. Let that appear hereafter, and aim better at me by that I now will manifest. For my brother, I think he holds you well, and in dearness of heart hath hope to effect your ensuing marriage. Surely suit ill spent and labor ill bestowed.
Why? What is the matter?
I came hither to tell you, and circumstances shortened, for she has been too long a talking of. The lady is disloyal.
Who? Hero?
Even she? Leonardo's hero? Your hero? Every man's hero?
Disloyal.
The word is too good to paint out her wickedness. I could say she were worse. Think you of a worse title, and I will fit her to it. But wonder not till further warned. Go but with me tonight, and you shall see her chamber window entered, even the night before her wedding day. If you love her then, tomorrow wed her. But it would better fit your honor to change your mind.
May this be so?
I will not think it.
If you dare not trust that you see, confess not that you know. If you will follow me, I'll show you enough. And when you have seen more and heard more, proceed accordingly.
If I see anything tonight, why I should not wed her there in the congregation, where I should marry, there I will shame her.
And as I wooed for thee to obtain her, I will join with thee to disgrace her.
I will disparage her no further till you are my witnesses. Bear it coldly, and let the issue show itself.
Are you good men and true?
Yea, or else it were pity but they should suffer salvation, body and soul.
Nay, that be a punishment too good for them, if they have any allegiance in them, being chosen for the prince's watch.
Well, then the charge, neighbor Dogberry.
First, who think you the most desertless man to be constable?
Hugh O'Cake or George Seacole, for they can write and read.
Come hither, neighbor Seacole. God hath blessed you with a good name. To be a well-favored man is the gift of fortune, but to write and read comes by nature.
Both which now.
You have! I knew would be your answer. Well, for your fortune, why, give God thanks and make no boast of it. And for your writing and reading, that only appear when there is no need for such vanity. It is thought that you are the most senseless and fit man to be constable. Therefore, bear you the lantern. Here is your charge. You are to comprehend all that were a man, and bid any man stand in the prince's name.
How if we will not stand?
Why then, take no note of him and let him go. If he escapes, then call the watch, and thank God you are rid of a knave.
If he will not stand when he is bidden, he is none of the prince's subjects.
True, and you are to meddle with none but the prince's subjects. You are to call at all the alehouses and bid those that are drunk get them to bed.
How if they will not?
Why, then, if they make not the better answer, you may say that they are not the men that you took them for.
Well, sir.
If you meet a thief, you may suspect him to be no true man by virtue of your office. And for such kind of man, the less you make him meddle with them, why, the more is for your honesty.
If we know him to be a thief, shall we not lay hands on him?
Truly, by your office, you may, but those that touch pitch shall be defiled. The most peaceable way for you, if you do take a thief, is to let him steal out of your company and show him what he is.
You have always been called a merciful man, partner.
Truly, I would not hang a dog by my will, much more a man who hath any honesty in him. This is the end of your charge. You, constable, are to present the prince's own person. If you meet the prince in the night, you may stay him.
Nay, by Our Lady, that I think he cannot.
5 shillings to 1 aunt, for any man that knows the statutes, he may stay him. Marry not without the prince be willing, for the watch ought to offend no man, and it is an offense to say a man against his will.
By Our Lady, I think it be so.
Well, masters, good night. Keep your fellows' counsels and your own. Come, neighbor.
Well, masters, we hear our charge. Let us go sit here upon the church bench till noon, and then all to bed.
One word more, I pray you. Watch about Signor Leonardo's door. For the wedding being there tomorrow, there is a great coil tonight. Adieu, be vigilant, I beseech you. What? Conrad? Conrad? Peace, stir not. Conrad, I say.
Here, man, I'm at my elbow. Mass, my elbow itch. I thought a scab would follow.
I will owe thee an answer for that. Now forward with thy tale.
Stand thee close, and I will utter all to thee.
Some treason masters would stand close.
Therefore know that I have tonight urged of Don John 1,000 ducats.
And I have to go.
Is it possible any villainy be so dear?
Thou shouldst rather ask if it were possible any villainy be so rich. For when rich villains are in need of poor ones, the poor ones make of what price they will. I wonder at it. That shows thou art unconfirmed. Thou knowest the fashion of a doublet, or a hat, or a cloak means nothing to a man.
Yes, it is apparel.
I mean the fashion.
The fashion is the fashion.
Tush, I might as well say the fool's the fool. But seest thou not what a deformed thief this fashion is?
I know that deformed. Has been a vile thief this 7 year. He was up and down like a gentleman. I remember his name.
Didst thou not hear somebody?
That was the vein on the house. Seest thou not, I say, what a deformed thief this fashion is, how giddily he turns about the hot bloods between 14 and 5 and 30?
All this I see, and I see that the fashion wears out more apparel than the man, but art thou thyself giddy with the fashion too, that thou hast shifted out of thy tale into telling me of the fashion?
Not so, neither. But know that I have tonight wooed Margaret, the Lady Hero's gentlewoman, by the name of Hero. She leans me out her mistress' chamber window and bids me 1,000 times good night. I should first tell thee how the Prince, Claudio, and my master, planted and placed and possessed by my master Don John, saw far in the orchard this amiable encounter.
Thought they Margaret was Hero?
2 of them did, the Prince and Claudio, but the devil my master knew she was Margaret, partly by his oaths, which first possessed them, partly by the night, which did deceive them, but chiefly by my villainy, which did confirm any slander Don John had made. Away went Claudio enraged, swore he would meet her as he was appointed at the temple the next morning, and there, before the whole congregation, shame her with what he saw o'ernight, and send her home without a husband.
We charge you in the prince's name! Stand!
We have here recovered the most dangerous piece of lechery that ever was known in the Commonwealth.
And one deformed is one of them. I know him. He wears a lock.
Masters, you'll be made bring the forth, I warn you. Masters.
Never speak. We charge you. Let us obey you to go with us.
We are likely to prove a goodly commodity being taken up with these men's bills.
The commodity in question, or weren't you? Come, we'll obey you.
Troth, I think your other bravado were better. No, pray thee, good Meg, I'll wear this. Why, my troth's not so good, and I warrant your cousin will say so. My cousin's a fool, and thou art another. I'll remember this. God give me joy to wear it, for my heart is exceeding heavy. 'Twill be heavier soon by the weight of a man. Fie upon thee! Art not ashamed? Of what, lady? Of speaking honorably? Is not marriage honorable in a beggar? Is not your lord honorable without marriage? I think you'll have me say, saving your reverence a husband, bad thinking do not rest true speaking. I'll offend nobody. Is there any harm in the heavier for a husband? None, I think. And it will be the right husband and the right wife, else 'tis light and not heavy. Ask my Lady Beatrice, else here she comes. Good morrow, coz.
Good morrow, sweet hero.
Why, how now? Do you speak in a sick tune?
I'm out of all other tune. 'Tis almost 5 o'clock. 'Tis time we were ready. By my troth, I am exceedingly ill.
For a hawk, a horse, or a husband?
For the letter that begins with all of them.
You must not be turned Turk. There's no more sailing by the star.
What means the full trow?
Nothing, but God sent everyone their heart's desire. These gloves the Count sent me, they are of an excellent perfume.
I'm stuffed, cousin, I cannot smell.
A maid? And stuffed? There's goodly catching of cold.
How long have you professed apprehension?
Even since you left it, doth not my wit become me rarely?
It's not seen enough. You should wear it more often.
Get you some of this distilled Cardus Benedictus and lay it on your heart, for it is the only thing for a qualm. There thou prick'st her with a thistle.
Benedictus? Benedictus! You have some moral in this. Benedictus?
Moral? No, by my troth. I have no moral meaning. I meant plain holy thistle. You may think perchance that I think you are in love. Nay, lady, I'm not such a fool to think what I list, nor I list not to think what I can. If I were to think my heart out of thinking that you are in love, that you can be in love, or that you will be in love,
Yet Benedict was such another, and now he has become a man. He swore he would never marry, and yet now, in the spite of his heart, he eats his meat without grudging. And how you were converted, I know not. But I think you look with your eyes as other women do.
What pace is it that thy tongue keeps?
Not a false gallop.
Madam, withdraw. The prince, the count, Signor Benedict, Don John, and all the gallants of the town have come to fetch you to church.
Help dress me, good cuz, good Meg, good Ursula.
What would you with me, honest neighbor? We would have some confidence with you that discerns you nearly. Be brief, for you see it is a very busy time for me.
Mary, this it is, sir.
Yes, in truth it is, sir.
What is it, my good friends?
Goodman Burgess, sir, speaks little off the matter. An old man, sir, and his wits are not so blunt as, God help I would desire they were, but as honest as the skin between his brows.
Yes, I thank God I am as honest as any man living that is an old man and no honester than I.
Comparisons are odorous. Palabras, neighbor Burgess.
Neighbors, you are tedious. I fain know what you have to say.
Mary, sir, our watch tonight, accepting your worship's presence, have taken a couple of as errant knaves as any in Massena.
A good old man, sir. He will be talking. As they say, when the age is in, the wit is out. God help us, it is a world to see. Well said in faith, neighbor Burgess. Well, God's a good man, and when two men ride of a horse, one must ride behind. But he's an honest man, sir, by my troth he is, as ever broke bread. All men are not alike, alas, good neighbor.
Indeed, he comes too short of you.
Gifts that God gives.
I must leave you now.
One word more, sir. Our watch, sir, have comprehended two auspicious persons. We would have them examined before your worship this morning.
Take the examination yourself and bring it to me. I am now in great haste, as it may appear to you.
It shall be sufficient.
Drink some wine ere you go, and fare you well.
Go, good neighbor, go! Get you to Francis C. Cole. Bid him bring his pen and inkhorn to the gow. We are to examination these men!
And we must do it wisely.
We will spare no wit, I warrant you. Here's that drives some to a non-come. Go, get the learned writer to set down our excommunication, and meet me at the gall!
Be brief. Only to the plain form of marriage. You shall recount the particular duties afterwards.
You come hither, my lord, to marry this lady.
No.
You come to marry her, friar. You come to be married to her.
Lady, you come hither to be married to this count.
I do.
If either of you know any inward impediment why you should not be conjoined, charge you on your souls to utter it.
Know you any, hero?
None, my lord.
Know you any, count?
I dare make his answer. None.
Oh, what men dare do, what men may do, what men daily do, not knowing what they do. Stand thee by, friar. Father, with your leave, and with and unconstrained soul, will you give me this maid, your daughter?
As freely, son, as God did give her me.
And what must I offer you, whose worth may counterpoise this rich and precious gift?
Nothing, unless you render her again.
Sweet prince, you learn me noble thankfulness. There, Leonardo! Take her back again! Give not this rotten orange to your friend. She is but the sign and semblance of her honor. Oh, how like a maid she blushes here! Oh, what authority and show of truth can cunning sin cover itself withal? Comes not that blood as modest evidence to witness simple virtue? Would you not say, all you that see her, that she were made by these exterior shows? But she is none! She knows the heat of a luxurious bed! Her blush is guiltiness, not modesty.
What do you mean, my lord?
Not to be married, not to knit my soul to an approved wanton.
My lord, if you, in the presence of your proof, vanquish the resistance of her youth.
I know what you would say. If I had known her, you will say she did embrace me as a husband, and so extenuate the forehand sin. No, Leonardo, I never spoke with word too large, but instead, as a brother to his sister, showed bashful sincerity and comely love.
It seems I never otherwise feel.
How does he? Seeming! I will write against it. You seem to me as Diane in her orb, as chaste as is the bud ere it be blown. But you are more intemperate in your blood than Venus, or than those pampered animals that rage in savage sensuality.
My lord, now that he doth speak so wise.
Sweet prince, why speak not to you?
What should I speak? I stand dishonored to have linked my dear friend to a common stale.
Are these things spoken into I but dream?
Sir, they are spoken, and these things are true.
Like a nuptial.
True. Oh, God!
Oh, hero. Leonardo, stand I here? Is this the prince? Is this the prince's brother? Is this face heroes are our eyes, our own?
All of this is true, my lord, but what of it?
Let me but move one question to your daughter, and that you, by that fatherly and kindly power which you have in her, bid her answer truly.
I bid thee to do so, as thou art my child.
God defend me! How am I beset? What kind of catechizing call you this?
To make you answer truly to your name.
Is it not hero? Who can blot out that name with any just reproach?
Marry, that can hero. Hero can blot out hero's virtue. What man was he who spoke with you yesternight at your window betwixt 12 and 1? If you are a maid, answer to this.
I talked with no man at that hour, my lord.
Why then you are no maiden. Leonardo, I'm sorry you must hear, but upon mine honor, myself, my brother, and this grieved count did see her, hear her, last night talk with a ruffian at her chamber window, who hath indeed, like a liberal villain, confessed her encounters 1,000 times in secret.
Fie, they're not to be named, my lord, not to be spoke of. There's not chastity enough in language without offense to utter them. Thus, pretty lady, I'm sorry for thy much misgovernment.
Oh, hero, what a hero hadst thou been, if half thy outward graces had been about thy thoughts and counsels of thy heart. But fare thee well, most foul, most fair. Farewell, thou pure impiety, thou impious purity. For thee, I'll lock up all the gates of love, and on my eyelids shall conjecture hang, to turn all beauty into thoughts of harm, and never shall it be more gracious.
Hath no man's dagger there a point for me? Cousin, for now you sit down.
Come, let us go. These things come thus to light. Smother her spirits up.
How talk the lady?
Dead, I mean! Benedict Prior! Uncle Hero! Oh, fate! Do not lift thy heavy hand, for death is the fairest cover for her shame that may be wished for.
Have comfort, lady.
Dost thou look up?
Yea, wherefore should she not?
Wherefore? Why doth not ever earthly thing cry shame upon her? Could she here deny the story that is printed in her blood? Do not live, hero! Do not ope thine eyes! For I thought thou wouldst not quickly die. Thought I thy spirits were stronger than thy shames. Why wast thou ever lovely in mine eyes? Oh, she has fallen into a pit of ink that the wide sea hath dropped too few to wash her clean again, and salts too little to give season to her foul, tainted flesh.
Sir, please be patient. For my part, I am so tired and wondering that I know not what to say.
On my soul, my cousin was belied.
Lady, were you her bedfellow last night?
No. But ever so before I was her bedfellow. Confirmed. Oh, confirmed. Oh, it was before barred up with ribs of iron. When the two princes lied. Claudio lied. That loved her so. That when speaking of her foulness washed it with tears. Hence from her. Let her die.
Hear me a little, for I have been silent, so long given way unto this course of fortune. By knowing of the lady, I have marked 1,000 blushing apparitions to start into her face, 1,000 innocent shames and angel whiteness beat away those blushes, and in her eye there hath appeared a fire to burn those errors these princes hold against her maiden truth. Call me a fool. Trust not my reading, nor my observations, which with experimental seal doth warrant the tenor of my book. Trust not my reverence, calling, age, nor divinity, if this lady here lie not guiltless under some biting error.
Friar, thou only seest the grace that she hath left. She will not add to her damnation a sin of perjury, yet she not denies it. Why seekest thou to cover with excuse which appears in proper nakedness?
Lady, what man is he you are accused of?
They know that doth accuse me. I know none. I know more of any man alive than thou hast made in modesty doth mourn, but all of my sins lack mercy. Oh, my father, prove you that I with any man converse hours on meter, that I yesterday maintained the change of words with any creature. Refuse me, hate me, torture me to death.
There is some strange misprision in the princes. Two of them have the very bent of honor. Should their wisdoms be misled? Perhaps it lives in John, bastard, whose spirit toils in the flame of villainies.
I know not if they speak but truth of her. These hands shall tear her. If they wrong her honor, the proudest of them shall hear of it. Time hath not yet so dried this blood of mine, nor age so eat of my invention, nor fortune wreak havoc on my means, nor my bad life reft me of such friends. They will find, awaked in a kind, both strength of limb and policy of mind, ability and means and choice of friends, to quit me of them thoroughly.
Pause a while. Let my counsel sway you in this case. Your daughter here, the princess left for dead, let it be secretly kept in, and in the morning, maintaining ostentation, and hang mournful epitaphs in all rites that appertain unto a burial.
What shall become of this? What will this do?
Mary,
This well carried shall on her behalf change slander to remorse. That is some good. She dying, as it must so be maintained, upon the instant that she was accused, shall be lamented, pitied, and excused of every hearer. So will it fare with Claudio, when he shall hear that she died upon his words, the idea of her life shall sweetly creep into the study of his imagination, and every lovely organ of her life shall come apparelled in more precious habit, more moving, delicate, and full of life than when she lived. Then shall he mourn, no, though he thought his accusation true, and wish he had not so accused her. Let this be so, and doubt not that success will fashion the event better than I can lay it down in likelihood. But if all aim be levelled false, the supposition of the lady's death will quench the wonder of her infamy, and if sore not well, you may conceal her, as best befits her wounded reputation, in some reclusive and religious life, out of all eyes, tongues, minds, and injuries.
Signor Leonardo, let the friar's words advise you. Though you know my inwardness in the love is very much unto the prince and Claudio, yet, by my honor, I will deal with this as secretly and justly as your soul choked your body.
Being that I flow in grief, the smallest twine shall lead me.
'Tis well consented. Presently away, for through strange sores strangely they strain the cure. Come, lady, die to live. This wedding day is but prolonged. Have patience and endure.
Lady Beatrice, have you wept all this while?
Yeah, and I will weep a while longer.
I will not desire that.
You have no reason to, I do it freely.
Surely I do believe your fair cousin is wronged.
Oh, how much the man might deserve of me that would right her.
Is there any way to show such friendship?
A very even way, but no such friend.
May a man do it?
It is a man's office, but not yours.
I do love nothing in the world so much as you, Beatrice. Is that not strange?
As strange a thing as I know not, it would be possible for me to say I loved you. But believe it not, yet I lie not. I confess nothing, nor I deny nothing. I'm sorry for my cousin!
By my sword, Beatrice, thou lovest me.
Don't swear to me it.
I will swear by that you love me, and I will make him eat that says I love not you.
Will you not eat your word?
With no sauce that can be devised to it. I protest. I love thee.
You have stayed me in a happy hour. I was about to protest that I loved you.
And do it with all thy heart.
I love you with so much of my heart there is nothing left to protest!
Come, bid me do anything for thee. Kill Claudio.
Ha! Not for your wild world.
You kill me to deny it, fare you well!
Tarry, sweet Beatrice.
There's no love in you, let me go!
Beatrice,
In faith, I will go!
we'll be friends first.
You'd rather be friends with me than fight with my enemy.
Is Claudio thine enemy?
Has he not approved himself in the height of villain? That have scorned, slandered, and dishonored my kinswoman? Oh, if I were a man, and when they bear hands until they take hands, and with public accusation and unmitigated rancor! If I were a man, I would eat his heart in the marketplace.
Hear me.
Talk
Beatrice,
out a window, a goodly saying.
Nay,
My
nay.
cousin is slandered, she is undone.
Beatrice,
Princes
please.
and counties. Truly a princely testimony. A gallant count. Count Compact. Oh, if I were a man, or if I had any friend, that would be a man for my sake. But manhood has melted into courtesy, valor into compliment, and men into tongues, and trim ones too. He is as valiant as Hercules, that says a lie and swears by it. I cannot be a man with wishing. Therefore, I will be a woman grieving.
Tarry, good Beatrice. By this hand, I love thee.
And use it some other way than swearing by it.
Think you in your soul that Count Claudio hath wronged Hero.
Yeah. Sure, I have ore soul.
Enough. I am engaged. I will challenge him. I will kiss your hand, so it will be done. By this hand, Claudio shall render me to your account. When you hear of me, so think of me. Go, comfort your cousin. I must say she is dead. So, farewell.
Is our whole assembly appeared?
Oh, a stool and a cushion for the sexton.
Which be the malefactors? Mary, that am I and my partner.
That's certain. We have the exhibition to examine.
But which are the ones to be offended? Let them come before Master Constable.
Yea, let them come before me. I pray you, what is your name?
Horatio?
Pray, write down Horatio. Yours, Sirrah?
I am a woman, sir, and my name is Conrad.
Write down Conrad. Masters, do you serve God?
Yea, sir, we hope.
Write down that they hope they serve God. But write God first, for God defend, but God should go before such villains. Masters, it is proved already you are little better than false knaves. I'll answer you for yourselves.
Marry, sir, we say we are none.
Write down that they are none. Villains, I charge you. What have your offense?
Master Constable, you go not the way to examine. You must call forth the watchmen that are their accusers.
Yea, let them come before me. Masters, I charge you, in the prince's name, accuse these men!
This man said that Don John, the prince's brother, was a villain.
Write down the prince's brother, villain. Why, that is flat perjury to call a prince's brother villain.
Master Constable.
Pray thee, fellow, peace. I do not like thy look, I promise thee.
What heard you him say else?
Mary that he had received 1,000 ducats of Don John for accusing the lady hero wrongfully.
Flat burglary as ever was committed!
Yea, on us, that it is.
What else?
And that Count Claudio, through his words, intended to disgrace Hero in front of the whole assembly, and not marry her.
O villain, thou wilt be condemned into everlasting redemption for this!
What else?
This is all.
And this is more, masters, than you can deny. Prince John was secretly stolen away. Hero was in this manner accused, in this very manner refused, and upon the grief of this, suddenly died. Master Constable. Let these men be bound and brought to Leonidas. I will go before it and show him their examination.
Come! Let them be opinion!
Let them be in the house.
Off, coxcomb! God's my life! Where's the sexton? Let him write down the prince's officer, coxcomb. Come, take them away, thou naughty varlet!
Away say, you are an ass. You are an ass.
Dost thou not suspect my place? Dost thou not suspect my years? Oh, he were here to write me down an ass. Yet forget not, masters, that I am an ass, though be not written down. But remember that I am an ass. No, thou villain, thou artful of piety, as shall be proved upon by good witness. I am a wise fellow, and, which is more, a householder, and, which is more, as pretty a piece of flesh as any is in Massena, and one that knows the law, go to, and a rich fellow, enough, go to, and one that hath 2 gowns, and everything handsome about him. Come, take them away, that I had been written down an ass.
If you go on thus, you will kill yourself, and 'tis not wisdom thus to second grief against yourself.
I pray thee, cease thy counsel, which falls into mine ears as profitless as water in a sieve. Give not me counsel, nor let no comforter delight in mine ear, but such a one whose wrongs do suit with mine. Bring me a father that so loved his child, whose joy of her was overwhelmed like mine, and bid him speak of patience. Measure his woe, the length and breadth of mine, and let it answer. For every strain, for strain, and thus, for thus, and such a grief as such. And every lineament, branch, shape, and form, and I of him will gather patience. But there is no such man. For brother men can give counsel and speak comfort to grief which they themselves not feel. And in tasting it, their counsel turns to passion. But no, 'tis all men's office to speak patience of those that bring under the load of sorrow. But no man's morals or sufficiency to be so moral when he shall endure the like himself. Therefore, give me no counsel. My griefs cry louder than advertisement.
Yet spend not all harm upon yourself. Make those that do offend you suffer too.
There, thou speakest reason. Nay, I will do so. And shall Claudio know, and shall the prince know, and everyone that thus dishonor her.
We're done. We're done.
Good day to both of you.
Hear you, my lords.
We have some haste, Leonardo.
Some haste? Where are you off to, my lords? Why are you so hasty now, when all is one?
Nay, do not quarrel with us, good old man.
If he could rid himself of quarreling, some of us would lie low.
Who wrongs him?
Mary, thou dost wrong me, thou dissemble thou! Nay, never lie thy hand upon me. I fear thee not.
Mary, beshrew my hand, if it should give your age such cause of fear in faith.
My hand meant nothing.
Tush, man, nor filly or ingested me. I speak not like a dotard, nor a fool, as unto the privilege of age to brag what I would have done were I young, or what I would do were I not old. No, Claudio, to thy head. Thou hast wronged mine innocent child, and I am forced to lay reverence by I, with gray hairs and bruise of many days, I do challenge thee to a trial of man. I say thou hast belied mine innocent child. Thy slanders have gone through and through her heart, and now she lies buried with her ancestors. Oh, in a tomb where scandal never slept, save for hers, framed by thy villainy.
My villainy?
Thine, Claudio, thine, I say.
You say not right, old man.
My lord, approve it on his body, if he dare, despite his nice fence and active prostate, his May of Bluth and bloom of lustling.
Away! I will not have to do with you.
Thou hast killed mine innocent child! If thou shalt kill me, boy, thou shalt kill a man!
He shall kill two of us, but that's no matter. Let him kill one first. Win me and wear me. Let him answer me. Come, follow me, boy. Come, sir, boy. Come, sir, boy. I'll whip you from your 40 fence. Nay, as I am a gentleman, I will.
Brother,
content yourself. God knows I loved my niece, and she is dead. Slandered my village, that dares well answer a man indeed as I dare take a serpent by the tongue. Boys, apes, braggarts, jacks, milksops!
Brother Antony,
come, 'tis no matter. Do not be meddle.
Gentlemen both,
We deal.
we will not wake your patience.
my lord.
I'm sorry for your loss. But upon my honor, we charge you with nothing but was true and very full of proof.
My lord, my lord.
I will not hear you.
No? Come, brother. I shall be heard.
And shall, or some of us, will be smart for it.
See, here comes the man we went to seek.
Now, Signor, what news?
Good day, my lord.
Welcome, Signor. You're almost calm to part, almost afraid.
We had like to have our two noses snapped off by two old men without teeth.
Leonardo and his brother. What thinkest thou? Had we fought, I doubt we'd have been too young for them.
In a false quarrel, there is no true valor. Came to seek you both.
Oh, we have been up and down to seek thee, for we are of high proof melancholy, and would fain have it beaten away. Wilt thou use thy wit?
It is in my scabbard. Shall I draw it?
Dost thou wear thy wit by his side?
Never any did so, though very many have been beside their wit. I will bid thee draw as we do the minstrels. Draw to pleasure us.
As I'm an honest man, you look pale. Art thou sick or angry?
What courage, man? What hast thou care killed a cat? Thou hast metal enough in thee to kill care.
Shall I speak a word into your ear?
God bless me from a challenge.
You are a villain. I jest not. I will make it good how you do with what you do when you do. You have killed a sweet and innocent lady. Let her death fall heavy on you. Let me hear from you.
Well, I will meet you, so I may have good cheer.
What? A feast? A feast?
In faith, he hath bid me to a cast head and a capon, the which, if I do not carve most curiously, say my knife's not. Shall I not find a woodcock too?
Sir, your wit ambles well. Goes easily.
I'll tell thee how Beatrice was the other day. She said, thou was the properest man in Massena.
For the which she wept heartily and said she cared not.
Yea, that she did. But yet for all of that, if she did not hate him so deadly, she would love him dearly. It's what the old man's daughter told us.
Oh, and moreover, God saw him when he was hid in the arbor.
But when shall we set the savage bull's horns on the sensible Benedict's head?
Nay, or text underneath, here dwells Benedict, the married man.
Fare you well, boy, you know my mind. I will leave you to your gossip-like humor. You break jests as braggarts through their blades, which, God be thanked, hurt not. My lord, for your many courtesies, I thank you. I must discontinue your company. Your brother the bastard is fled from Massena. You have among you killed a sweet and innocent lady. For my Lord Lockbeard here, I will be seeing him. Till then, peace be with you.
He is in earnest, in most profound earnest, and a warrant for the love of Beatrice.
And he hath challenged thee.
Most sincerely.
What a pretty thing man is, when he goes into his doublet, and dusts off his wit.
He is then a giant to an ape, but then is an ape a doctor to such a man.
But soft you let me be. Pluck on my heart and be sad. Did he not say my brother was fled?
Come, sir, if justice cannot tame you, she shall ne'er weigh more reasons in her balance. And, you being a lying hypocrite once, you must be looked to.
How now? 2 of my brother's men bound? Baraccio 1!
Hearken after their offense, my lord.
Officers, what offense have these men done?
Firstly, they have committed false report. Moreover, they have spoken untruths. Secondarily, they are slanders. Sixth and lastly, they have belied a lady. And, to conclude, they are lying knaves.
First I ask thee what they have done. Thirdly, I ask thee what's their offense. And sixth and lastly, what you lay to their charge. What have you committed thee to?
Rightly reasoned, and in his own division, and by my troth, there's one meaning well suited.
Who have you offended, masters, that you were thus bound by your answer? This learned constable is too cunning to be understood. What is your offense?
Sweet prince, let me go no farther to mine answer. Do you hear me, and let this count kill me? I have deceived even your very eyes. What your wisdoms could not discover, these shallow fools have brought to light, who in the night overheard me confessing to this man how Don John, your brother, incensed me to slander the lady Hero, how you were brought out into the orchard and saw me court Margaret in Hero's garments, and how you disgraced her when you should have married her. My villainy they have upon record, which I would rather seal with my death than repeat over to my shame. The lady is dead because of mine and my master's false accusation, and briefly, I desire nothing more than the reward of a villain.
Runs not this speech like iron through your blood?
I have drunk poison whilst he uttered it.
And did my brother send thee on this?
Yea, and paid me richly for it.
He is composed and framed the treachery, and fled. He is upon the villainy.
Sweet Hero, thy image now doth appear in the rare semblance which I loved at first.
Come, take them away. By this time our sexton hath reformed Signor Leonardo of the matter. And masters, do not forget to specify, when time and place shall serve, that I am an ass.
Here comes Master Signor Leonardo in the sexton too.
Which is the villain? Which of these is he? Let me see his eyes.
If you know you're wronger, look on me.
No. No. Art thou the slave that's breath has killed mine innocent child?
Yea, even I alone.
Not so, villain. Thou hast belied thyself. Here stand a pair of honorable men. A third has fled that had a hand in it. I thank thee, princess, for my daughter's death. Hang it with your high and worthy deeds. 'Twas bravely done, you bethink you of it.
I know not how to pray your patience, yet I must speak. Choose your avenger self, impose upon me what penance your invention can lay upon my sin, yet sinned I not, but in mistaking.
By my soul, nor I. And yet, to satisfy this good old man, I would bend under any heavy weight that he'll enjoy me to.
I cannot bid you bid my daughter live. That were impossible. But I pray you, possess the people in Massena how innocent she died. And if your love can labor in aught sad invention, hang an epitaph upon her tomb. And sing to her bones. Sing it tonight. And tomorrow morning, come you to my house. For since you cannot be my son-in-law, be my nephew. My brother hath a daughter, almost the exact copy of my child that's dead, and she alone is the heir to both of us. Give her the right you should have given her cousin, and so dies my revenge.
No, noble sir, though over kindness doth wring tears from my eyes, I do embrace your offer, and for henceforth shall dispose here of poor Claudio.
Until tomorrow, my lords, this naughty man shall be brought face to face with Margaret, who I believe was packed in this wrong, hired to it by your brother.
No, by my soul she was not, nor did she know what she was doing when she spoke to me, but has always been just and virtuous as anything I do know by her.
Moreover, sir, which should not be seen in white and black, this plaintiff here, the offender, did call me an ass. I beseech you, let it be remembered in their punishment. And the watch heard them talk of one deformed, with a lock hanging by his ear and a key near it, and who had borrowed money in God's name for so long that men grow hard-hearted. I beseech you, examine him upon that point.
I thank thee for thy care and honest pains.
Your worship is like a most thankful and reverent youth, and I pray God for you.
Here's for thy honest pains.
God save the foundation!
I discharge thee of thy prisoners, and I thank thee.
I leave an errant knave in your worship, which I beseech your worship to correct yourself. I wish your worship well. May God restore you to health. And if a merry meeting may be wished, let God prohibit it. Come, neighbor. So long. Farewell. Auf Wiedersehen. Adieu.
Until tomorrow, my lords, farewell.
Tonight I'll mourn with Hero.
I thank thee for thy duty. This man, we will talk to Margaret to see how she became an acquaintance with this lewd man.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. Rain still remains.
Pray thee, sweet Mistress Margaret, deserve it me well by helping me to the speech of Beatrice.
Will you then write me a sonnet in praise of my beauty?
In so high a style, Margaret, that no living man shall come over it. For, in most comely truth, thou deservest it.
To have no man come over me? Why, shall I always keep below the stairs?
Thy wit is as quick as the greyhound's mouth. It catches.
And yours as blunt as a fencer's foil, which hit, but hurt not.
A most manly wit, Margaret. It shall not hurt a woman, though. And so I pray thee, call Beatrice. I give thee the bucklers.
Give us the swords. We have bucklers of our own.
If you use them, put them in the pikes of the vice, for they are very dangerous weapons for maids.
I will call Beatrice to you, who I think hath legs.
And therefore will come. Oh boy. God of love sits above and knows me and knows me. How pitiful I deserve! Ugh. I mean in singing, but in loving. Leander the good swimmer, Charlie is the first employer of the panders, and a whole book full of these quantum carpet mangers whose names yet run smooth on the even road of a blank verse. Why, they were never so turned over and over as myself in love. What, Mary, I cannot show it in rhyme. I have tried. I can find no other rhyme to lady but baby, an innocent rhyme. For scorn, horn, a hard rhyme. For school, fool, a babbling rhyme. Very ominous endings. I was not born under a rhyming planet, nor was I taught to woo in festival terms. Sweet Lady Beatrice, wouldst thou come when I call thee?
And depart when you bid me.
Oh, but stay till then.
Then is spoken. Ere, before I go, I will go with what I came, which is to know what hath passed between you and Claudio.
Only foul words. And thereupon, I kissed you.
Foul words is the foul breath, and foul breath is the foul wind, and foul wind is noisome, therefore I will depart unkissed.
Thou hast frightened the word out of its right sense. So forcible is thy wit. But I must tell thee plainly, Claudio undergoes my challenge, and I must either hear from him or subscribe him a coward. And now, I pray thee, for which of my bad parts did thou first fall in love with me?
For all of them together, which maintain such a politic state of evil that none of the good parts could come to intermingle with them. But, for which of my good parts did you first suffer love for me?
Suffer love, a good epithet. I do suffer love indeed for you, Beatrice, for I love thee against my will.
In spite of your heart, for which I think, alas, poor heart, if you spite it for mine, I will spite it for yours.
Thou and I are too wise to woo peaceably.
It appears in this confession, there is not one wise man among 20 that won't praise himself.
An old instance, Beatrice, which lived among the day of good neighbors. If a man do not erect his tomb ere he dies, he shall live no longer in monument, as the bell rings and the widow weeps.
And how long is that, thinks you?
Why, an hour in clamor, and a quarter in rem. It is most expedient to the wise. If Dom Worm his conscience find no impediment to the contrary, to be the trumpet of his own virtues, as I am to myself. So much for praising myself, who I myself bear witness, is praiseworthy. But I must ask thee plainly, how doth your cousin?
Very ill.
And how doth you?
Very ill.
Serve God, love me and end. Ere I will go too, for here comes one in haste.
Madam, you must come to your uncle. It is proved my lady hero has been falsely accused, the Prince of Claudio mightily abused, and Don John, the author of all, who is fled and gone. Will you come presently?
Will you go hear the news, senor?
I will live in thy arms, die in thy lap, and be buried in thine eyes. Therefore I will go with thee to thy uncle's.
Done to death by slanderous tongues was the hero that here lies. Death, in guerdon of her wrongs, gives her fame which never dies. So the life that died with shame lives in death with glorious fame. Hangs out there upon the tomb, praising her when I am dumb. Now music, sound, and sing your solemn hymn. Pardon, goddess of the night, those that slew thy
help us to silent groan. Heavily, heavily. Graves yawn and yield your dead till death be uttered. Heavily, heavily. Now, unto thy bones, good night. Yearly will I do this right.
Come, let us hence and put on other weeks. Leonado's we shall go.
And Hymen now, with luckier issue speed than this for whom we rendered up this woe.
Did I not tell you she was innocent?
So were the Prince and Claudio, who accused her upon the air you heard debated. But it seems that Margaret had some hand in this, though against her will, in the true course of the question.
Well, I'm glad things sort so well.
And so am I, being else by faith and forced to call young Claudio to a reckoning for it.
Well, daughter and all you gentlemen now, withdraw yourselves into your chambers alone, and when I send for you, come hither masked. The Prince and Claudio promised to meet me by this hour. Brother, you know your office. You were to be father to your brother's daughter.
Which I will do with confirmed countenance.
Friar, I must entreat your pains, I think.
To do what, Signor?
To bind me. Or undo me. One of them. Signor Leonardo. Truth it is, good signor, your niece regards me, and that I have favored you.
And I my daughter lent her, it is very true.
And with an eye of love, I requite her.
The sight whereof you had from me, Prince St. Claudio. But what is your will?
Your answer, sir, is enigmatical. For your will, my will is that your will may stand with ours, this day to be conjoined in a state of honorable marriage, in which, good friar, I desire your help.
My heart is with your liking.
And my help. Here comes the Prince of Claudio.
Good morrow to this fair assembly.
Good morrow, Prince. Good morrow, Claudio. We here attend you. Are you yet today determined to marry my brother's daughter?
I'll hold my mind.
Go, brother. The friar is ready.
Good morrow, Benedict. Why, what's the matter? That you've such a February face, so full of frost, storm, and cloudiness.
I think he thinks upon the savage bull. Hush, fear not, man. We'll tip thy horns with gold, and all Europa shall rejoice at thee as once Europa did at lusty Jove when he played the noble beast in love.
Bold Jove, sir, an amiable love. And some such strange bull leapt your father's cow, and got a calf in the same noble feat, much like to you. For you have just as pleased.
For this, I owe you. Here come other reckonings. Which is the lady I must seize upon?
The same is she, and I do give you her.
Why, then she's mine. Sweet, let me see your face.
No, that you shall not do until you take her hand before this friar and swear to marry her.
Lady, give me your hand.
before this holy friar, I am your husband, you like of me.
And when I lived, I was your other wife. And when you loved, you were my other husband.
Another hero?
Nothing certainer. One hero died, but I do live.
The former hero! Hero that is dead?
She died, my lord, the whiles her slanders lived.
All this amazement, can I qualify? When after that the holy rites are ended, I'll tell you largely a fair hero's death. Meantime, let wonder seem familiar. Into the chapel, let us...
Soft and fair, friar, soft and fair. Which is Beatrice?
I answer to that name. What is your will?
Do you not love me?
No! No more than reason!
Why? Then your uncle, the Prince and Claudio, had been deceived. They swore you did.
Do you not love me?
No more than a reason.
Well, then my cousins, Margaret and Ursula, were much deceived, because they swore you did.
They swore you were almost sick for me.
They swore you were well nigh dead for me.
'Tis no matter. Then, you do not love me?
No, no more than friendly recompense.
Come, cousin, I am sure you love the gentleman.
Oh, I'll be sworn upon it that he loves her. For here's a paper written in his own hand, a sonnet of his own pure brain, fashioned to Beatrice.
And here's another, written in my cousin's hand, stolen from her pocket, containing her affections. Unto Benedict.
A miracle! Here's our own hands against our hearts. Come, I will have thee, but by this life I take thee for bidden.
I will accept thee, but only to save your life. For others said you were in consumption.
Peace, I will stop your mouth.
How dost thou, Benedict? The married man!
I'll tell thee what, Prince. A college of my wit crackers cannot flout me out of my humor. Dost thou think I care for a satire or an epigram? No. If a man were to be beaten with brains, A were nothing handsome about him. In brief, since I do propose to marry, I will think nothing to any purpose that the world should say against it. Therefore, never flout at me for what I have said against it. For man is a giddy thing. And here is my conclusion. For thy part, Claudio, I would to think that I have beaten thee, but that thou art like to be my kinsman, live unbruised, and love my cousin.
I had well hoped thou would have denied Beatrice, that I might have cudgeled thee out of thy single life to make thee a double dealer, which, out of question, thou wilt be as my cousin. Do not look exceedingly narrowly to thee.
Come, come, we are friends. Let us have a dance ere we are married, that we may lighten our hearts and our wives' heels.
We will have dancing afterward.
First of my word. Prince, thou art sad. Get thee a wife! Get thee a wife! There is no staff more reverend than one with a tipped horn!
Commander, sir! Your brother Johnny's taking a flight and he's brought armed men to Massena! God, I need that spirit! I need some help!
Think not of him till tomorrow. I will devise thee grave punishments for him. Strike up, pipers!